We all know luxury watches can be pretty expensive, right? But some watches are on a totally different level. A level of extravagance that, honestly, almost redefines what wealth even is. So today, we are diving deep into the wild world of the most valuable timepieces ever created.
So let's just get right to it. What on earth could possibly make a watch worth $55 million? I mean, that number is staggering. It's almost hard to believe. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how a timepiece gets a price tag that high.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the formula that makes these watches so insanely expensive. Then, we'll kick off our countdown, starting with watches that are all about their materials and mechanics, then moving on to ones with just legendary histories. We'll finish up with the most dazzling of them all before asking, what does it all mean? Okay, before we even look at the first watch on our countdown, we got to understand the basics. What are the core ingredients that go into these unbelievable price tags? Because it's not just about telling time, it's a very specific and very powerful combination of things.
It really boils down to these three things. First, the components. We're talking materials you can't just order online, like incredibly rare gems, platinum, or even pieces of actual meteorites. Second is mechanical complexity, or what watchmakers call complications. That's just a fancy word for all the different functions a watch can do besides, telling time. And third, and this is a big one, is the intangible value. The story behind it, its history, and the fact that it's completely one of a kind.
All right, you got the formula? Good. Let's start the countdown. We're kicking things off with a group of watches where the value is all about incredible materials and just mind-bending engineering.
Kicking us off at number 10 is the Louis Moinet Meteorus, coming in at $4.6 million. And its most incredible feature? It literally has a piece of the moon inside it. No joke. It's actually part of a 4-watch set, and each one has fragments from space. We're talking moon rock, Martian rock, you name it. That's exactly what we mean by an extraordinary component. Sliding in at number 9, we've got the Hublot Big Bang for a cool $5 million. Now, if the last watch was about rarity from outer space, this one is all about overwhelming earthly sparkle. It's just covered in 1,280 diamonds. It took a full year just to find all the diamonds, and for that extra legendary status, it was a birthday gift from Beyoncé to Jay-Z.
Number 8 brings us the Vacheron Constantin 57260 at $8 million. This one is all about that second piece of our formula, mechanical complexity. Put simply, this is the most complicated watch ever built, period. It has 2,800 tiny parts inside, giving it 57 different complications. That's 57 different things it can do. It took 3 master watchmakers 8 years to create this thing from scratch. Just incredible.
And now for number 7, the Patek Philippe Reference 1518, which sold for over $11 million. Now this is fascinating because it perfectly shows a weird paradox in the luxury world. Why so expensive? Not for diamonds or moon rocks, but for its stainless steel case. See, in the world of high-end Patek Philippe, they almost always use gold or platinum. So a steel one? It's unbelievably rare. This is one of only 4 ever made, which makes its story and its rarity way more valuable than the metal itself.
Okay, we're shifting gears a bit. We're now moving into a new tier, where the prices are driven less by the materials and more by legendary stories, a real sense of history, and, well, pure unapologetic audacity.
At number 6 is the Jacob & Co. Billionaire watch at a staggering $18 million. And to really get it, just look at it next to that Hublot we saw earlier. If the Hublot was a statement, the Billionaire watch is a massive exclamation point. It's loaded with 260 carats of emerald-cut diamonds. Honestly, it feels less like a watch and more like a crown that you wear on your wrist.
Halfway through our list at number 5, we have a true piece of history, the Patek Philippe Henry Graves Super Complication. It sold for $24 million. This incredible pocket watch was made back in 1933 for an American banker. It took 5 years to make and has 24 complications. And get this, it sold for $11 million back in 1999, but when it went up for auction again, it totally shattered that record, proving that its history is just as valuable as its solid gold case.
Our number 4 is the Chopard 201 Carat watch for $25 million. This piece was a real landmark. When it came out, it was a total game changer, blurring the line between a watch and a piece of high jewelry. It has 874 rare, colorful diamonds arranged in this beautiful, chaotic way. The actual watch face is so tiny you almost miss it in this sea of gems. This watch really paved the way for a whole new kind of luxury timepiece.
And at number 3, valued at $30 million, is the Breguet Marie-Antoinette. The story behind this pocket watch is just unbelievable, a perfect example of that intangible value. It was commissioned way back in 1782, supposedly by a lover of the French queen, but she was executed 11 years later, long before it was ever finished. The watch wasn't actually completed until 1827. Then it was stolen and only found again in 2007. That epic, tragic, 200-year story is where its immense value comes from.
We've now arrived at the top 2. And honestly, these pieces are in a category all by themselves. This is where watchmaking just becomes pure art, a kind of diamond fantasy. And they both come from one of the biggest names in the diamond world, Graff.
Our runner-up at number 2 is the Fascination by Graff Diamonds, with a price tag of $40 million. This thing is a masterpiece of design, covered in over 152 carats of white diamonds. But here's the magic trick. The center stone, a flawless 38-carat pear-shaped diamond, can actually pop off and be worn as a ring. So it's a watch and a ring in one. It's just a stunning piece of convertible art.
And here it is, the most expensive watch in the world. Number 1, the Graff Diamonds Hallucination, for $55 million. Its mind-blowing price tag comes from 110 carats of unbelievably rare, fancy-colored diamonds. Their colors are so unique, they're practically off the charts. And if you look really closely at this explosion of gems, you can just barely make out a tiny little dial. It's less a watch that has diamonds on it and more a priceless collection of gems that just so happens to tell time.
Lawrence Graff, the chairman of Graff Diamonds, really said it best himself. He said, "The hallucination has made my diamond dream a reality." This wasn't about just making another product, it was about achieving a pure artistic vision with diamonds right at the heart of it all. So we've gone all the way from $4.6 million to an unbelievable $55 million. We've seen moon rocks, mechanical genius, and just mountains of diamonds. But what does it all really mean? I mean, why do these things even exist?
Well, let's put that $55 million price tag in perspective for a second. For the exact same amount of money, you could go out and buy a brand new Gulfstream private jet. This isn't just about owning something expensive anymore. This is about owning something that changes what expensive even means. It's the ultimate status symbol.
And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. When an object that's designed to tell you the time costs the same as a private jet, has it stopped being a watch? Has it become something else entirely? A work of art, a historical artifact, or maybe just the ultimate expression of wealth? Thanks for